Are you looking forward with excitement, not anxiety? If you aren't, man, you stumbled upon the right video. We can totally help you with this, so let's go. In this video, we're going to help you feel excited about the future instead of feeling anxious about it.
We'll cover some reasons you might be feeling anxiety about the future. And then we'll cover exactly how you can start getting excited about it instead.
If you feel anxious about the future, you're definitely not alone. A lot of people have a hard time thinking about the future. The number one reason that people are scared of the future is simply this: it's uncertain.
Well, that feeling of uncertainty really drives a lot of people crazy. And Cristy and I understand why. Not knowing what's going to happen is challenging to cope with. And truly, it can be pretty scary.
Yeah. Our minds often leap straight to, well, what if? And we start imagining worst case scenarios, which, you know what, that just doesn't freaking help.
2020 was full of anxiety. We had this problem a lot. We saw an absolutely amazing rise in anxiety because uncertainty was so abundant. People were worried about what would happen next. People went crazy with food, drugs, alcohol, TV, not working, and all other escapist behaviors to try to cope with what was happening in our world.
Well, freaking out about the future is something that most people do at some point, but there is a way to better handle things than just getting overwhelmed by anxiety and resorting to damaging escapist behaviors.
One thing you can do to manage anxiety about the future is control what you can control. And when I say control what you can control, guess who I'm talking about? You.
Yep.
You control you no matter where you are or what is happening. There is always something that you are saying, doing, thinking, feeling, believing that you can control.
And you can decide anytime, anywhere, to change what you're saying, doing, thinking, believing, or feeling. And when you focus on controlling yourself instead of what you can control, like what happens in the future, well, guess what? You take your power back.
You give yourself the gifts of peace and certainty by controlling what you actually can control.
Even though the future is uncertain, you have more to say in what happens in your future than you think.
Controlling what happens in your future begins with controlling with what you do right now. Can you believe that? What you do now affects your future. It sounds silly. It's sort of like those very crazy
Like Twilight
Zones we used to watch, where the man would move the book a little bit to the right, or he would sit in a different spot in the restaurant, and his entire future changed, like the butterfly effect, everything. But it is true. What you do now affects the future. There will always be parts of the future that you don't have a say in, and that is true. But you have more of a say in what is happening right now than you think.
We see this a lot in our community.
We do.
A lot of people who are sick. And we get people, look, we get some pretty sick people that come to the Code Red lifestyle. I mean, we have an individual right now working his way through the program. At the time that we're recording this, starting weight was about almost 650 pounds. And that's going to be our biggest male client that has ever come through our program. We have total faith in his ability to heal his own body. So people come to us, usually this is the last resort. Code Red is the last resort before weight loss surgery, or weight loss surgery has failed them and they're pretty sick. And so we see people really get down on themselves when they are really sick because they see the high A1C, the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol. They see the loads of medication. They see the fact that they have to sleep with a CPAP, all those problems that they don't think there's a cure for, that they don't think they can do anything. Well, this is just my lot in life. Well, my grandma had a case of the sugars, so I'm going to get a case of the sugars, you know? And it's just this downward spy of depression, and then it just keeps going and going and going. And so we see this a lot when you are sick and when you are dealing with disease and you're dealing with cancer and you're dealing with all kinds of other problems. Man, it's hard to see that there can be good or that you can even crawl your way out of it. But can we tell you, you can?
You influence all of that by making healthy choices for yourself right now, even if you are in the middle of a disease process, or even if you are in the middle of a diagnosis that you don't like, or your doctors are telling you you need to take these pills and things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. You have the ability to stop part of what's happening right now
Yes.
by making better choices, like the choice to eat real food,
Yes.
green beans,
Yeah.
pot
Eggs
roast,
and bacon.
eggs and bacon, instead of a big breakfast out of a jar that you heat up, or out of a package,
Or out of a drive-thru.
out of a drive-thru, instead of processed junk food. You have the choice to drink water. I mean, I drank water out of a hose, and so did Cristy, and we both lived, and we both have all of our body parts that we're supposed to. So it's a miracle we survived hose water. But you can drink hose water instead of all that soda or energy drinks or all of those chemicals. Okay, a lot of you may be asking, what do they mean by hose water? No, it's not a special French water like Jose, and they don't. No, it is
Spigot.
A spigot.
A spigot.
Y'all, have you ever you know when you want to water your lawn, you go outside and you go like this, and then it comes out the hose, and it's hot in the hose because it's hot outside. Well, as children, we didn't have bottled water. If you wanted to drink and you were outside, you didn't go inside and get a Tupperware cup out of the Tupperware. You turned on the spigot and you drink it out of the hose.
Right.
And we lived through that. And a lot of people are just so scared that their kids are going to get germs and all these terrible things. And the truth is, I don't even want to know what was in that hose water, but we all live. So that's what I mean by drinking hose water. So
Or
you can
drink any water you want.
Drink any water you want, even if it's out of the hose, or if you want to get bottled water, that's fine too. We just would prefer that you drink that over soda or energy drinks.
Yeah, because that can be healing to you. And removing the uncertainty about your future, it starts right now in what you do right now. Before we go to our next point, we want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me, are you having uncertainty about the future? Be honest, be raw, be real. I have let my heart hang out on this YouTube channel. We share very personal stuff with you. Share some personal stuff with us. Are you having uncertainty? We'd love to hear from you.
Or if you drink hose water.
Oh, yeah, right.
We'd like to hear about that
put
too.
That below.
Write that
Come
below.
on,
and you
girls.
live. If you live. Country Girls Unite.
Come on. It's also how you go from being anxious about the future to being excited about it. When you make good choices for yourself in the now, you create a future that you can be excited about.
Instead of expecting the worst to happen, you can start to expect the best to happen. If you expect something enough times, you'll get it. So why not expect what you want instead of what you don't want?
You can be prudent and responsible and still look forward to the best instead of fearing the worst.
Fearing the worst is not all it's cracked up to be. All you're worrying about, you can't control, and it's just making you miserable.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't add anything to your life. It doesn't make the situation better at all. In fact, it makes things worse. Thoughts become things, as the saying goes. And it makes no sense to think about what you don't want.
So soothe your anxiety about the future by focusing on what you can control is right now, right here, and yourself. One of the most powerful ways that we've ever seen or experienced to focus on what you can control is to take control of your health.
Yeah. I know a lot of so-called modern medicine makes it sound like you have no say in what happens to your health, but we're here to tell you, you have more control over it than you think.
I know this because Cristy and I have helped tens of thousands of people from all over the world take their life back from obesity and disease.
Yeah. If you're sick and tired about being sick and tired and you really want to feel excited about your future instead of anxious, then join us for the next 10-pound takedown challenge. You can lose 10 pounds in 30 days without shakes, pills, diet foods, or even exercise. I've got it linked up below. Check out the 10-pound takedown, and we'll see you in the next video.
We'll cover some reasons you might be feeling about the anxious. Not knowing what's going to happen to...
Well, even though the future is uncertain, no,
No tea.
no tea. Sorry, I was gonna do two.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You can start to expect the best of something.
The hose water.
Did you never drink water out of a hose?
You're referring to as kids.
He's young. Look how young he is.
Oh,
Okay,
you
you
don't
didn't
know-
drink water
you
out of a
didn't drink
hose.
water out of a
I did.
hose?
Oh, okay. He's saying that our viewer might not get that. Okay, got it.
Well, then they're too young for this program.
Yeah, right. They're too young.